Thanks for joining us again today. The purpose of this video is to demonstrate the process used to move historic Latec recorded data into AGPS software, either in the AGPS Topo software or Pipe Pro or any of the other AGPS softwares. What we're going to do is we're going to start off with a set of tile lines that was recorded in 1999 with the Latec AMW data recorder. So what I've done is I've created a folder on my desktop called Test Latec to AGPS, and I've simply copied a sample .gps file into this folder. If I go ahead and double click on that, I'm going to have about 12 acres of tile lines there. There's some flags that would depict a tile size change or any other notation. Those are the little red dots. Different contractors used that differently in the past. However, for our purposes, all we really care about is the tile lines and moving those out. First thing we're going to do in Latec is simply go to the data button and down to export as shape. And we're going to make sure that it's going to the same folder on the desktop. We could just leave the name, that's fine. We're saving it as type, as a shapefile, hit save. We can go ahead and X out of that. What we've got now is 6 new files along with the original .gps file. Shapefiles always have at least 3 files associated with them, a .dbf, a .shp, and a .shx. Whenever moving shapefiles, you always need to move the corresponding files with the same name. We really don't care about the flags, those are just little dots. What we care about today is those lines. You can see they're actually 33 kilobytes, and those are the lines. On my computer, if I double click on this shapefile, I can see the shape file that we created with the export out of Latec. Just going to go ahead and close that, and that's just a little utility that allows me to view this shapefile. Unfortunately, AGPS is unable to directly read that shapefile. That means we need to do another step in the process. What we're going to do is we're going to open up a little utility called Arc2CAD. Arc2CAD simply looks at the shapefile and converts it to a DXF file, which is then read into AGPS. Now open that utility. Going to look on the desktop for that folder, and we're going to click on this line. Make sure our settings are right in here. Just do a quick survey of these settings. We're saving it as a DXF. We're saving the projection. We're going from lat long to UTM WGS84 NAT83. Select that option. UTM zone for the zone we're in currently is zone 17 for this data. And in this case, we're going to use it as a US surveyor's foot. So the other thing we can note here is at the bottom of this screen, we can check this little box called Keep Current Projection Setting as Default. This will allow you to keep these settings for any future conversions. Say OK to that. We can go to Layer, Single Layer, that's fine. Colors, we can adjust this color to whatever color we want it to appear in AGPS. Let's use blue, for instance. Say OK, and then simply up at the top right, hit Save. Go ahead and X out of this utility. I'm going to take a moment right now to just talk about that Arc2CAD utility. It can be purchased on the web. I believe it's under GuthCAD. We do a search that way and go to their their homepage. It's an Australian company. Very solid little utility, can be purchased for a couple $100. Does a great job of these conversions, and it's very reasonable priced. The copy I have is a version 6. I see the current version is version 7. Go ahead and minimize that, close out of that. And next thing we're going to do is actually go ahead and double click on this DXF file. It's not necessary, but I'm doing it in this video just to show that the DXF file has maintained the same data. That ArcToCAD conversion did two things. It converted the file type from a shape file right over into a DXF file. It also did another thing. It converted the projection from an unprojected lat-long coordinate system into a UTM zone 17 north projection. So it did those two things in that conversion. Now we're going to go ahead and open AGPS. And what we're going to do today is we're just going to open an existing topo job for this site. I'm going to use AGPS topo. And I'm going to go set up program quick, different job. Job name for the topo data collected on that site is Howick Farm 10. Just simply go through that. You see the topo data that was collected on this site. We can zoom out a little bit. Next thing I'm going to do is go to menu, U for menu, go down to plot menu. There's an option in plot menu called background drawing file control. Hit OK. And scroll right to the bottom. There's an option called build from a DXF file. And next thing we're going to do is navigate or browse to the folder on our desktop that contains this data. So this is the file we just got done creating with ArcToCAD. Hit open. AGPS processes the data, and if we just pause, it'll come back to this screen. Say quit, no further changes. Now let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit, and we can start seeing the data in the very south end of the farm. Set a fake position there, and we'll zoom in there. And there it is. So that's overlaying on top of a topo job. Should be noted there's no real guarantees on position. A lot of this Latec data, in this particular case, it was collected with a Coast Guard signal in 1999. So that could be somewhat different from your base station positions today. A lot of times it's going to be within a foot or so, but there is no guarantees. So just wanted to kind of lay that out. It's going to be very close. You can use this to, go find them with a backhoe or whatever. Hopefully this is helpful, and look forward to talking about this